Today we'll be talking about the topic of taxonomical aids. Now, first of all, let us understand what is the meaning of taxonomical aids. Now, we know what is taxonomy. Taxonomy is something called classification, like, on the basis of observable characteristic features. So, aids means what? The things which are helpful to study something, or something which is like giving a sort of assistance in studying something. That is what you call it as aids. So here, if we talk about taxonomical aids, so which are the places or which are the constructions that are used as a taxonomical aids, which is really helpful to study taxonomy. So here we go with the taxonomical aids. So first of all, taxonomical aids are those through which one can study taxonomy. Now, which are the taxonomical aids? There are 4 basic taxonomical aids, apart from one more thing, that is recordings. Now, which are the taxonomical aids? The first one is herbarium. Now, what is mean by herbarium? Herbarium is something like, you can consider it to be synonymous to museum. So you can say that, that in museum we store the dead bodies and like preservatives are added and we store it inside, right? Stuffed dead bodies, ideally we call it as. So what do we do in herbarium? Herbarium is a storehouse of dead plants, particularly those plants which are not available in an area. Like suppose if I talk about a maple leaf, you know that it is very much famous for the country like Canada, whereas the same maple leaf is not available over here. So if somebody wants to study about in detail anatomy and detailed morphology of a maple leaf, then one can have assistance of or the help of herbarium. So let us understand what is the meaning of herbarium. So ideally, herbarium is a place where dried plants are stored. Which kind of plants are stored? Dried. And they are stored on a particular sheet, a paper-like sheet, which is what you call it as herbarium sheet. So the method, how do we go for the making of herbarium sheet? Now the first thing is like we are going to collect the sample. So sample is collected from whatever place it is, the sample is collected. Secondly, the second step to that is it is dried and pressed. What do you mean by dried and pressed? Like suppose if you have taken a sample, let us have an example that I have taken a leaf. So suppose if I have taken a leaf, just a minute. Suppose if I have taken a leaf and I am putting that leaf compressed in these pages and I am compressing it for a certain period of time, you know that it will get dried and it will get compressed or pressed. So that is the second step. The first step is collection and the second step is like drying and pressing. Once drying and pressing is done, we know that you can put that sample on this herbarium sheet. And putting that sample on this herbarium sheet is what you call it as mounting. What you call it as mounting. So the first step to make the herbarium sheet is collection. The second step is dried and pressed. I hope you are clear. Drying and pressing is also done in the filter paper, in the HEPA filter paper, or in any kind of paper through which it can be pressed nicely. Blotting paper can also be used. Okay. Then mounting is done. Now what do you mean by mounting? Mounting is, I have shown you on the board, a typical herbarium sheet is taken whose length is 42 centimeter. You have to remember this. Length is 42 centimeter and the breadth is 29 centimeter. So this kind of a herbarium sheet is taken and whatever sample you have collected, maybe it a flower, maybe it a stem, maybe a small herb or whatever, is dry pressed and placed over here. So placing the sample on the herbarium sheet is called as mounting. What do you call it as? Mounting. Once the mounting is done, we are going to label everything, including like from where the sample is collected, what is the systematics, like how can you classify the plants, what is the scientific name, etc. All those things are collected, date of collection even you can write, all those detailed information is written on this side. of the herbarium sheet. Furthermore, on that, once you place that sample on that herbarium sheet, either it is stitched or sticked with the help of a glue. And then onwards, what is placed on this? On that, we spray some preservatives. Why do we add some preservatives? Because you know that it is a sample which can be degraded or decayed by funguses or some insects. So in order to keep it preserved for a longer period of time, we are adding some, or we are spraying some chemicals on it which acts like preservative that will preserve the sample for a longer period of time. You can also call this step as fumigation. The next is it is stored right over there. And let me tell you, indexes are made. A collection index, the way you have index in your book, the front page, or just in the second page to the front page, you have an index. That index shows what are the contents of the book. So similarly, a herbarium file will have a index which will show what kind of plants or what kind of sample are being collected and kept in that particular herbarium file. So this is what you call it as herbarium, and yes, of course, it is very much useful in collecting and in studying those plants which are not locally available, which are available in some else area, and you want to study that particular plant, you can have the help of herbarium. So remember, herbarium is a place where the plants are dried and stored. The next, so we are done with the herbarium. Now next, we go with the next taxonomical aid, and that's what you call it as botanical garden. Now we are aware of botanical garden, we all are aware. It's a kind of garden where live plants are cultivated which are growing in a particular suitable area. Like as far as an example, we have in Gujarat a very nice botanical garden located near Vagai. So you can take the example of that. What do we see there? We see there different kinds of plants, medicinal plants, ferns, then you can say fruit plants, then you can say orchideums, then further you can say cactus house, glass house, creepers, all are available over there. So if you want to study live plants in detail, you want to study how they are cultivated, how self-pollination occur, cross-pollination occur in a live format, you can go and visit the botanical garden. So this is about a botanical garden. Remember that this is the place where plants are preserved or cultivated in live form. Whereas when you talk about herbarium, they are dead over there. Okay. So even in a botanical garden, you can find some of the things like artificial ponds, where you can find hydrophytes surviving. Okay. So which are some examples of botanical garden which are mentioned in our book? They are Kew Botanical Garden, which is one of the largest botanical garden, remember, in the whole world, and it is located in London, that is UK. Another one is Indian Botanical Garden, that is located in Howrah. Often in some of the book it is given as Calcutta, so you have to remember that it is located over there, or Kolkata. You have to remember that Howrah, that is a bridge which is located in Kolkata. So that is the second location. The another botanical garden which is found in Lucknow is National Botanical Research Institute. So these all are the place where you can study the plants in live form, their habitat, their adaptations, their physiology, their cytotaxonomy, everything you can study in detail over there. Okay. Now next is the zoological park. Now what is zoological park? In short, we call them as zoo. We know that these are the places where live wild animals are kept and taken care of. So this is about, in short, we know that animals, their habitat, their behavior, like they can be protected. Endangered animals, particularly, let's say if suppose lion are endangered in this days, and they can be kept in the zoological park artificially. They can be inseminated. They can be done in vitro fertilization as well. So that somehow you can preserve the endangered animal also. So this is all about the zoological park. So naturally you can study different kinds of animals over there in a live form. And the next taxonomical aid is a museum. So this one is the last one. Museum is what we all know, that the same thing which is found in a live form are preserved and stuffed with chemicals inside. the dead bodies are open teared off, and you can say some preservatives are added inside it, and they are stored for a longer period of time. So one can study. The very good example is, we know that mummies, right? So basically what do we call it as? Mummified animals. What do you mean by mummified? Mummified means some preservatives are kept inside and they are stitched together, the skin is stitched, and they can be stored for a longer period of time. So museum particularly give you the proof of the historical species which were found in the history. Like you might be knowing, the very good example is the one which is shown in the movie, that is Jurassic Park. We have seen that a large skeleton of the dinosaur, the pre-existing animals which used to exist once in the world, which are now extincted, are found over there. So you can study over there the historical animals, the history part of animals and plants. Often you can say, you can even study insects, which are also in insect box, which are kept in an insect box preserved inside. So this is also one of the place where you can study taxonomy easily and nicely. So some of the example of you can say museum is a Museum of Natural History, that is located in Paris, and it is one of the most famous museum. So these are all about the taxonomical aids. Remember that there are 4. 1, where plants are stored in a dried form, that is herbarium. 2nd, plants are kept in a live form, cultivated, that is botanical garden. 3rd, animals are kept in a live form, that is known as zoological park. And the last one is museum, where everything is being stuffed and kept and preserved. Now we'll be talking about the next 2 taxonomical aid after studying the 4 previous one or the later one. So now the 5th taxonomical aid, which is helpful in identification of plants and animal, is known as a key. Now what do you mean by key? Let us understand a key. What is a key? Key is a character which we select on the basis of similarity and dissimilarity. Like suppose if I have collected number of plants and animals from ponds, and some of the plants and animals from the land, I will have 2 characteristic feature, that is land and the water, or aquatic or the terrestrial. So I will be having 2 options to put those plants and animals into. So those 2 particular character are known as couplets. What are they called? Couplets. So what are basically couplets? Couplets are pairs of contrasting characters. Like suppose if I want to classify something into tall and dwarf, that is how many students are tall and how many students are dwarf in your class. So you know that I am putting the character of height into 2 contrasting characters. And what is that? Tall and dwarf. So the tall and dwarf is a key to classify that particular class. So here we call this contrasting characters, as I have told you that one is tall and one is dwarf. These contrasting characters occur in a couplet. So these contrasting characters, which are on the basis of similarity, dissimilarity, or contrasting characters, are known as couplets. Further, these are analytical in nature. What do you mean by keys are analytical? Yes, you can analyze the things like what is tall and what is dwarf. You can see that, you can observe that. So from that you can analyze the key. And we make choice either in the 2. Like suppose if I am classifying, as I told you, that a class into 2 different groups, one is tall and one is dwarf. So first I will analyze. So yes, the key is analytical in nature. The second is choices made between 2. Like suppose if I'm selecting a girl, so if she is tall, I'll put it in a tall group, or if she is dwarf, I'll put her in a dwarf group. So I am selecting either of one, like either a tall or a dwarf. So that particular, whatever I am selection is being made, that particular is known as lead. So remember that key is a pair of contrasting characters. Remember, they are known as couplet. Choices made between any of the 2, and the one which is chosen is known as lead. Remember this. Okay. Now the next taxonomical aid which we use is known as recording descriptions. Now what do you mean by recording descriptions? Means how would you describe certain things in biology? How would you record certain things in biology? As it is an introductory chapter, this is something a basic aspect. So if you're talking about plants, you can record those or you can describe them as flora. When you talk about animals, you can describe them as fauna. The another thing is manual. Now what do you mean by manuals? Manual is a description of name of species found in a particular area. Like suppose if I give you an example of a manual, like we know that our school is located in somewhere in Partapur area, right? So suppose if I'm talking about in winter, how many species of birds are coming in that area. So I'll put a collection of those species, I'll write the name, I'll write the detail and make a manual. So what is a manual? Manual is the names of a species found in that particular area. So that is what you call it as manuals. The next is monograph. Mono means single. Remember this. Wherever the word comes mono, it means single. And monograph is what? It provides the information of one particular taxon. And I've already told you what is a taxon. Taxon is a group of anything which we have classified for. So you can say that monograph is the information of only one taxon. The next is, you can say that it is known as catalog. The next is known as catalog. Now what do you mean by catalog? When you want to identify one particular species, any one particular species, totally in detail, what you will find, where you can find the description as, you can find it in the catalog. As you know that catalog is something exclusive. Exclusive means what? Only one thing is found, a typical structure or a typical, we can say, let's take a good example of catalog. Like when you know that when we go for a shopping, we tell the shopkeeper to show the catalog piece, which is nowhere else found. So what does catalog means? That catalog will give you the information of one particular species only, and that also completely. So here we go with the taxonomical aids. How many taxonomical aids we have studied? Basically 6. So first herbarium, second botanical garden, third is zoological park, fourth is museum, fifth is key, and the sixth one is recording descriptions, which is further classified. And so here we are done with the first chapter.